Welcome to the Roy Anthony and every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
And Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
And Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick it.
Every Tuesday.
Everything is going
Every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony
Every
Show. It's during
Tuesday.
the week, homie. The Roy
Every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
Tap
bar
in.
before we gotta
Tap
go.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
Every
Show. Come on
Tuesday.
and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
Every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
Tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show.
Do you want that real stand-up comedy? Then watch Roy Anthony's weekly stand-up comedy show with featuring comedians from all over the country, seasoned comics, up-and-coming comics, performing live in Los Angeles, produced by Roy Anthony, Where's My Grill, Big Hank, Long Beach Players, promoted by Navigator, Media One. Come on, USA, let's get our laugh on. What it do? What it do? What it do? This was comedian Roy Anthony. I know it seems like they like, man, it's been dark a little bit because we still getting stuff acclimated, our lighting and everything like that. So I just want to say welcome to the Roy Anthony Show podcast. The Roy Anthony Live is the stand-up comedy show, but it's the Roy Anthony Show podcast with my co-stars, Big Hank Norman, who will be popping in, Miss Cynthia Joy Towner. We represent the WO platform, which was created by veterans of the United States military. And the head producer, Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp. That's his stand-up comedic name. We're gonna be seeing some stuff on him because we're gonna be having him on our season 2 coming up of the Roy Anthony Live weekly stand-up comedy show. The co-creator Goose, that's my other brother. Got much love for him. He is seldom seen, but always missed and loved. You know what I'm saying? That's my bro. Then we have our social producers, Blue Phoenix, Eighth and Daily. We have our good neighbors, the BB Nation, which is the backwood veterans based out of Oregon. My man Carl Loomis, J-Dub, and all that for real. Then we have the Long Beach All-Stars based out of Southern California, Long Beach, Watts, Compton, and Linwood. Then we have the WO family itself, which is based around the United States and different countries. Then our own personal family, friends, and associates, and those who don't like us, you know. I seen one of our partners just me. He said, hey, y'all, how y'all doing today? Good here. That's good, man. I'm glad. I had missed you a couple of times, man. I'm like, where my boy at, man? And stuff, man. Got much love for him and stuff. And like y'all know, we have conversations. Some people, you want to put a comment in or something, and you know, something that you may agree with, you don't agree with. You know, this is what we about. We're having a conversation. It's not a confrontation. I've learned stuff about myself and certain things that I've learned and seen, and so when I speak out, then somebody else can say, hey, when you don't say nothing, then nobody really knows what you're thinking. And so then it becomes a little bit confusing, right? And so I just want to be able to and I'm sorry that the lighting, we're working on that. We're getting everything situated. Everybody was like, where's your globe? You know them couch. So we're setting up the studio. He said, yeah, I had to get some stuff together good now though. 5 days sober tomorrow. What? Man, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, Just Me. I know his real name, but he put on it Just Me. Look, bro, I love when somebody can admit when they have there's a situation or fault or anything that makes you a real man, bro, a real woman and man who can say, "Hey, I had this." He said he's been sober 5 days. Tomorrow, hey, bro, it's one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? And when a person knows when you have a problem or anything, that's when you're quick to solve it. A lot of people have problems and they in a state of denial. So when you're in a state of denial, you can't get it fixed. But when I was always taught that when you know that you realize that you have a problem, it's easy to start. That's where it starts getting healing, you know. And because he's never been bad person, I wouldn't even know he had a problem because he's so adaptive, listening. He gives his comments. I mean, he's aware of the conversation we're having, and I got respect for that, you know. And you can tell that my man, Just Me, is very highly intelligent for real. And if more people came honest like he just did, man, we'll be in a way better world than what we've been facing here lately, right? Which goes to the subject. You know, you call me so many names. There's a lot of names playing into politics, and I named the subject. You call me so many names. Okay, let's call some names. You know, I don't like what I'm seeing in the politics, especially from the the magazines. I'm not saying all Republicans. I made some Republicans, and some of the Republicans have not liked. I did not know because I thought the parties were the same, but it's that the a lot of Republicans doesn't like the name slinging. You know, we're concentrated. This is America. We taught kids. I'm sorry, man. Some of these megas, you can't teach my kids because you're teaching them to go backwards. Our military, our veterans go out to fight other countries because we're about a modern world, a future where people can live for free. We don't like dictatorships. We don't like people who treat humanity as if it's just a piece of garbage. We don't like that, and that's where our military goes out to fight with that and to keep tyranny down. Now, those who ain't ever been in the military, then I don't like when somebody speaks down on somebody who has been in the military or went over and served and stuff like that. You know, I read about the Governor Walz, who's been selected to run as the running mate with the now presidential candidate, Miss Vice President Kamala Harris. Mr. Watts, you know, he's to me, I accept him. He keeps it 100. And you ever notice that people who keeps it 100 don't mind having a sense of humor and everything because it is what it is. I found that his students loved him when he was a teacher. He served over 20 years in National Guard, and I found National Guard is can go to any type of combat and stuff if they want to. They're for for the whatever situations pop up. He did not duck away. You know, I've been seeing these name calling about um, Vice President Kamala Harris, and I'm gonna be honest with everyone. As a resident of California, I did not really um, like Kamala Harris, not because of her the person, whatever. It was just some of her political things, in which is really good for what's running as a president. My problems was personal because I was about Oscar Grant and the killing of Oscar Grant, which happened January the 1st of 2009, and I, you know, held her responsible. But I forgave because if people wonder if she's hard on crime, oh yeah, she's hard on crime. She was a prosecuting attorney. You understand me? Just Me said neither side likes the name calling. It's immature and unprofessional. Yes, And I want to say this because I wasn't a fan of Kamala Harris. I'm still not, but you know how the saying goes, you can please some of the people some of the times, but you can't please everybody all the time. Well, I was one of them all the people all the time, right? And stuff. But that's because I'm not into knowing politics, but it is what it is. My man just said the problem with Watts is that he got out before his unit deployed to Iraq when he still had time to do. He wasn't CSM, he was an SM. But what I'm saying is he made, which way because he worked with kids as a teacher. He did because some people, because former President Donald Trump never served in the military. He was born with a golden spoon. I was going to get on to that part because I'm not against none of these guys. I'm about humanity. I always said, man, if I was to have lunch with former President Donald Trump or any of the people, let's have lunch. I say, man, let's leave the politics alone, man. I just want to talk to you. Let's talk about how you feel about the sports and stuff like that because God has my side. This you believe in God, sir? Salvation because it's for you just as well for me. Let's have lunch and all that. But see, no one is perfect. We can find every little flaw what a person did. You know, my man said he did go to the military school, which is a lot more than some of our recent presidents. Now, if it did, because what I seen from former President Donald Trump, his dad, I was reading this expose when the federals was coming against former President Donald Trump and his dad because they had this. His dad had the real estate, but he didn't want to rent to blacks. He only wanted to rent to whites and Asians, kind of like Donald Sterling was out there in Los Angeles. That's why they kicked him out the NBA. See, my thing is, it's the Pledge of Allegiance part. One nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. That's all of us. I said that pledge. It wasn't about, blacks, white, and so when we come into this name called, especially with me being a black American, which I don't like to consider myself like that, but that's the carousel that they use. America was built on the color carousel. All the whites wasn't from Britain. Some came from Norwegian, some from Sweden, some from this area, just like the blacks. Some blacks, you got Nairobi, you got some from Ethiopia, you got some that's basically was here as a Blackfoot Native American, just like Latinos. I made a mistake a couple of years ago. I was down in Florida and I was at this store and I seen, with me being in California, we deal with a lot of Mexicans from Mexico. And I seen some guys and they were speaking Spanish and it looked like Mexico. So I said, hey, hola amigo and stuff. The guy looked at me. He said, do you think we're Mexicans? And I'm like, yeah. He said, no. They was from El Salvador or something like that. And I was like, wow. But so the carousel that the United States did was they had a color wheel. Those who look like us, whites, no matter where it was, they called it white. Because Britons called themselves Britain. Swedes called themselves Swedes. In the United States, and after the American Revolution of 1661, they did a color wheel. They called the ones who was white, they called them white. The ones that was like me, they called them black. The Asians, they called them yellow. The Native Americans, they called them red. And the Latinos and Aztec Indians was considered brown. This is the truth. And so then what they did is he said, I'm not sure what Fred Trump did, but I know Donald did rent to races. He got an award from Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton for doing just that. Sometimes, man, I'm gonna look that up. I'm glad you brought that up because I was just reading that when Trump was walking around with his dad from some of real estates, and they had a mortgage company and stuff like that. That when his dad died, he inherited $100 million project. But they said that he would also be like, hey, and so just me said El Salvador, and a lot of them are from Guatemala. See, I didn't know, when you naive, I told you I was in Florida. I was visiting my brother down in Fort Myers, Florida. And with me being from California, I'm thinking, Mexicans. And right then is when I was like, wow, they own the whole continent of South America. It's more than just Mexico. And I'm like, whoa, hey, what's up, Carl? My man, that's Wizard of Oz. Hello, bro. Hello, man. What's up, Carl? Good to hear from you, bro. And so now, once again, like I said, the name calling is getting to me. When America, and I just told you the color wheel, when I was a kid, and I lived in neighborhoods where it's predominantly blacks and Latinos. It was taught to us since I've been in kindergarten and first grade. They taught us the color wheel. They said, and I'm gonna keep stating this because I seen them with a circle about Miss Kamala, and they have her as Indian and then black. Now the blacks community has more mixtures of race, I think, than any other race here in the United States. And the way the government said it, because I even went through this, the way the government has put it: white man, white woman, white baby. Black man, black woman, black baby. Now, this is the tricky part. White man, black woman, black baby. Black man, white woman, black baby. Mexican man, black woman, black baby. I mean, for real, I was taught this. And so when they say, well, she identified being Indian, she identified being black. I had a guy, I was the only black working at an engineer firm. I'm a civil designer. And the guy their family did the history tree and stuff. And he came to me and he had, he was like, yeah. And I said, hey, what's going on? He said, man, I found out that I got 0.05% my black in me. And I was like, oh, okay. He said, yeah, so brother. I said, hold up, man. Being black ain't just being a drop of blood or nothing. You feel me? Now that in modern day, you got to be able to be harassed by the police at least one time for driving while you're black. You understand me? I'm just teasing. Don't get me wrong. Just me said Florida has a lot of Cubans and Dominicans. See, I see that. He said, oh, for sure. And he said that in and out of itself is wrong. We were never taught that. I'm pretty sure we were the same age group. Yes. And we were, bro, because you know what it tells us? Get in your lane. Now, I'm going to be honest with everybody. I was like that. I took it for real. I was in elementary and they showed Roots. And I navigated. It was awkward going to classes because all my friends, we was all different colors. Now all of a sudden there's a divide, like, whoa, and it messed with me. And it messed with us a lot because instead of us being the United States, let me explain something to you. A lot of people talk about former President Ronald Reagan, who was the governor of California, and he don't know, but I just look at it like when they rolled up the crime bill, they bring the drugs into the neighborhood and then write up a crime. And I'm being real. We don't have no planes to drive to fly to Colombia and all that. All of a sudden, in one night, in every major city, crack was in our neighborhoods. And so then the war on crime was not like they did Robert Downey Jr., who got caught with a load of crack behind my apartment complex in Long Beach, and gave him a pat on. I think he did it. It was supposed to be going a year, and him going to the Betty Ford clinic and all that stuff. And next you know, you see him in the movies. I seen guys going to prison with one crack, with a gram of crack, and crack is only 15% saluted with cocaine. But they was going. That was their war on prison. Look, in some of the cities I am, they burnt the houses down instead of letting them fix it up for a proper family. They burnt them down, left the neighborhood snag to. This is what they did for real in the black neighborhood. Carl said, he said, I'm working with my laser engraver, making products while watching. Laser and tall. He said laser and dog tag. Man, I like that. That's a cool thing, man. I wish that the cast will come together as humanity and put bygones and forgive each other, and let's work to a common good. You know, hey man, look here, man. A change came into me. I was all about, because some of my family members are Black Panthers. Um, um, I then was they broke that up. Then I'm hanging with this, that, and that, and it was, you know, all about black. Until one day God woke me up and said, you are terrorizing the people just like you feel like your ancestors terrorized. I am God. I made all of us. And I was like, whoa, I'm headed to hell. Because in my personal mindset, I feel like I'm doing right. But I love my country. When people say, tell blacks, go back to Africa, where you think you from? When you say, we ain't never say, well, won't you go back to England or Ireland or Sweden? For real. We've been in this country. We all been together, our ancestors and them, all the way from the making revolutions, from the pilgrims and everything. For real. Why you think everybody loves soul food? That was the first meal of Thanksgiving. We should pride ourselves on that. Look, I'm a big advocate about soul food. I seen some Africans come over there, and the African guys like, I want to eat some of this soul food. I've never ate a candy yam. I've never ate no smothered pork chop. Yeah, we laughing and stuff, right? It's American cuisine, just like hamburgers. We created baseball, basketball, football. We representing our countries in the Olympics. We did that together, y'all. I will not. I don't care who it is. I'm against the black guys out there, Byron Donalds, Tim Scott. I don't like that. Be proud of what you are, and so we can work together as humanity. One God, one faith, one baptism. In God we trust is what we instill on our money. We need to go back to the original saying on money, which it used to say, mind your own business. That was the saying on our dollar bill, mind your own business, before they changed it in God we trust. When do we show love to each other? Every time I look up, something incredible. If a person got a death thing, you know what? Do your thing, but don't go and terrorize kids. Don't go and want to cause havoc, and then next you know you want mercy. I was grateful to God that former President Donald Trump didn't get killed. I'm for real. I had a tear to come my eye. Not that I love his politics. I'm not voting for former President Donald Trump. I don't want to vote for Kamala. I'm trying to see who the alternate is going to be in. But I didn't want to see him get hurt. I kept thinking about if that man would have turned his head a half an inch, it could have ripped his whole face off. I don't want that. I don't want none of that. I want, Mandy, I want everyone to wish that they can accept God. And you don't have to become no old punks, tambourine, soft player person. God wants soldiers. He wants people who's gonna be loyal and have a good heart. You know, I believe in them. I believe in all my brothers. I can talk with Carl, and I can talk with Just Me. I can talk with Richie King, Goose, Blue Phoenix, Big Hank, Little Rob. He's Latino. If Bruce Lee was around, man, I don't, because guess what? I only have one life to live, and I'd be damned if I set my life up in thinking that I have all the answers and everything. I want to learn from you, and we learn together and stuff, and that's where I'm at. Just me said, I drove through Butler that day, just hours before that happened. You know, I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect, but I'm gonna tell you this much: I will not let these hateful things that's causing our world to God is is coming back. I don't bash the gay people. I am not their judge. Only God can be your judge. I'm not. I can't judge nobody. I'm on the last journey myself. I'm thinking about my kids when they older. I want the politics to be about how we going to make America preserved and help our families and help us. I didn't like when President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and they giving all this money to Ukraine. I didn't like that, and because I definitely didn't like when the bombs was coming in first and they putting all the African students off the train. But now you want our help. I don't like when other countries like the Gazas and the Palestines and all that, they fighting and all that. But you come over here because you want us to put our military troops to help you. But when you over here, you look down at blacks, but you don't understand that blacks are part of the military. But you want us to go help you fight against somebody who y'all don't even believe in God like we do. You believe in Allah and all that. I'm not knocking it, but what you need our help for? You know what I'm saying? Why we so strong with it? Because we do believe in, a lot of us do believe in the spiritual God. We mess up, we fall short. We fall short, but we know that God forgives us. Why are you coming over here and protesting about your country? You know what I'm saying? You want to use our soldiers, but you don't want to respect blacks and the rednecks and the Latinos. You call them Mexicans and all that stuff. You think you're better than us. I go to the 7-Eleven stores, Phillips 66 gas stations. I see how you act, but then you want us to help you for real. Fight your battle. Get a belief with God. He'll help you. And so if I don't like all that, I don't like when I see people, and ain't no different race, it's whites, blacks, Latinos that be poor here in America, suffering, eating, don't have no food to eat and stuff like that. And we're shipping money over to these people. We don't even know where the money went to. They still over there fighting. I don't care about that guy like that, man. I care about our presidents, no matter who it become. I ain't worried about no President Zelensky. So for real, while you was up there doing voice for Paddington Bear, you should have been coming up with a way to work with President Putin. It seemed like Putin can do a full tear down on him. But man, but we let the Associated Press tells us, and who am I? I got a podcast on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 hour on Saturday World. They ain't thinking about no Roy. They have been thinking about me on some of the things. I got a strike. I got a strike last week from YouTube because they tried to say I was showing Olympic pieces, which was public domain. but it's because this same episode I was teasing about former President Donald Trump coming into the Republican um, um, what's it called, the Republican National Committee, and it was the day after he had got shot on the ear, and he came out to Many Men by 50 Cent. Now, anybody, you don't have to hear it from me. Please listen to the song Many Men by 50 Cent, and you're gonna be like, oh my God. But I like to have some lunch with all these guys, but I would tell them, hey, let's leave the politics alone. I don't. Let's talk about common goals. Let's talk about how the kids growing up. You know, for real. I don't like when people with the smear campaigning, when they have had President Joe Biden sniffing little baby's hair. I done sniffed little kids' head, not some strange kids, but you know, my little nephews or something. Like, ooh, boy, you're smelling fresh, fresh and innocent. You know, I don't, you know, he said, IMO, he said, we have, oh no, he said, in my opinion, we have no reason to be helping Ukraine or Russia. That's a UK fight. The only reason we should be helping Israel is because they've been a huge ally in the Middle East. That bond is already formed. And I can feel that. I can feel that what you're saying, and I totally agree, except that once again, facts got to be facts. When the word of God told us to protect Israel, now God was not created in 1948. I just want to get facts as facts. Israel became Israel, the country that we protect, like it's what the word of God, and they pound you with that, pound you with. But you got to be honest, because when you don't be truthful, see, a lie can never be the truth. Wrong can never be right. Even though the majority is going along with it, a lie is still a lie. And truth got to be the truth. Truth of the matter is that Israel was established in 1948 because of oil embargoes. Then they take the word of God in the churches and tells us to protect Israel, and that Israel, God has never taught about protecting a piece of land. He's always told us protect the people. Jasmine said that was long before Palestine. Palestine was a country of refugees, and I use that term lightly. But what I'm saying is the country Israel, it was established in 1948. In the word of God, and churches use that. Do you know God said, protect Israel? Yeah. Man, they talking about way before Christ. The children of Israel started with Abraham and his sons after him. For real. See, it becomes generational, where then the lie becomes like it's supposed to be the truth, and it's not the truth. When the churches, now I can understand with the country's named Israel, and we got a good allies with it, but that's when you go in the churches and they trying to justify why we sending our troops over there. And so, because God said for us to protect Israel, the Bible, and it's real, basic instruction before leaving earth. If Jesus wasn't real, then why is the whole world based upon his time on earth? BC, before Christ. DC, during Christ. We live in AC, after Christ. The whole world, from the Chinese, and they one of the oldest with the keeping of the books and the transcripts and everything. Paul in the Bible, who visit these certain countries. They just started calling the Middle East the Middle East. Middle East is Africa. It's all connected, but because of politics, Middle East is Africa. Look at the globe. I don't have my globe. Look at your map. How it become Middle East? China, kind of part of Africa. That's why they call it was over there where they called them Mongolians. They was really Asiatic black men. That's what they called them. See, all will be revealed because see, we take a lie and it's dust upon us 2 or 3 generations. When you're a kid and your grandparents like, yeah, Israel. So then we growing up to believe that, but it's a lie. We got more truth said in front of us and quicker than Google and all that. You can get the truth like that. But we don't want the truth because we believe that we are hearing the truth. But when you live around the truth, you get more solace, you get more comfortability, you get more secureness and everything. But when we live off a lie, just me said, China is actually the Far East. You had to go past that to get to the Middle East, which includes that. That's what I'm saying, bro. Now, I told you just me, he's an educated brother. I know he's based over there in Ohio, or I was very educated. I could sit there and have lunch with him. We'll have a talk in spirit without names. I'm gonna give him a big hug, and then we're gonna have our talks. There's things that he believes in, I believed in, but guess what? The common belief is that God, because some of my beliefs were wrong. There was one time I thought that only black folks was going to heaven. All the persecution we've going through, I thought automatically we go, but that's a lie because there's only one God and he reigns on the just as well as the unjust. He said, and if you go over to the UK, we're called the Western countries. That's right. But I'm serious, man. And he knows for real. I want to go kick it with my man Carl Loomis. I owed him. We're sending him something right now. I've been saying it for a couple of weeks because he got married July the 14th, and we still been on his month, but he doesn't know some situations we've been putting together for him, man. But man, we coming down. We can't live our lives. We slanging names. When they said, oh, so ugly. Oh, Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI. Just because she dated Willie Brown. Willie Brown was the mayor of San Francisco. He could not help her to become the prosecuting attorney. That's voted. You'll take somebody's personal life, but then when they bring up your personal life, oh, you don't want to talk about it. Because a lie cannot be a truth. Facts is not a theory. A theory means an unproven fact. So many times you hear theories. When you hear the word theory, run from it because it's a theory. That means somebody came up with it. Just like our school system was based off of Charles Darwin, who was an LSD addict who had hallucinations. So he takes a hit off some LSD. All of a sudden you go, oh, he fades back. All of a sudden he's seen a big explosion in this earth and stars, and next thing you know, he done said animals. A fish said, forget it, I'm tired of swimming in the water. I think I'm gonna come up here on the land. And all of a sudden, man, and we put that in the schools. We teaching our whole generation, been teaching generations of kids, ourselves included, lies. Why a fish ain't came out the water now? Why a monkey ain't stepped up and said, forget it, I'm tired of being hunchback. I'm going to sit up here and stand upright and go drink me some cappuccino. God's not to be mocked. Yeah, we living on lies, and when we find the truth, that's why so much chaos. Because there's chaos because we live on lies. I don't care if it's your grandparents, your great grandparents, whatever. When I found out about when they say a mirror You break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. What I found that what it was is that was something they created in the master slave at the slaves. So when they slaves would clean up the master house, mirrors was hard to find. So they would make them think, yeah, and who can give you 7 years bad luck but the master of the slaves? You understand what I'm saying? You know, broke that mirror. Oh yeah, you getting 7 years bad luck. Next thing you know, it becomes a generational thing. Spill some salt. Oh, pinch something and put it on my shoulder. Oh, don't go behind the ladder. Oh, black cat went across my path. Oh, don't sweep my foot. Oh, next time I'm gonna go to jail. Come on with this superstitious lies. Read your word of God. You got people in church superstitious. Are you kidding me? Just we said our school system was built by Rockefeller. They didn't want free thinkers. They wanted obedient employees. That part. When we come to the common ground, look here. Our podcast don't have thousands and some millions of people because I don't believe in spreading lies. I believe in being truthful. We sit up here and stuff, we lie on our kids and stuff. You know, we talk about Santa Claus. You know what I taught my kids? That Jesus let the angels come down and bring presents. To me, that's closer than the truth than to believe that some dude is gonna come through on the fireplace. When we lived in the hood, we didn't have no fireplace, and we definitely couldn't leave the front door. Wait a minute, here's one of my co-stars coming right here now. What's up with? Wait a minute, my bad, he didn't get on. What's up with you, Big Hank?
Man, what's happening, Roy Anthony?
Man, you got it, man. Love that hat, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Just out there doing it, man. Sit up in the church, man. I couldn't get loose, man. I said, man, I got to get back. I got to get on the show at least tell Roy what's happening, man. What's the deal? What you talking about?
Oh man, talking about names, you know, just keeping 100 about just keep the name of the show was you want to call me names? Okay, let's call names. But we're talking about the truth. I was just been having a spirited conversation with just me. He's been on there, man. We on the same thing, you know. Jeremy, what's up, Jeremy? He said presence.
What's up, Jeremy?
Just me. We were just talking about the schools. He said that's why they go off bells in schools and why desks are in rows and lunchrooms are all in one room. Yeah, see, we talking about how they lied to us. We kids, we lied about Charles Darwin's theory. He was an LSD addict, Big Hank. He takes a hit. LSD makes people have hallucinations. So he seen a big explosion and fish coming out the water to become like man and all that. And we put that in a school. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Then saying God we trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said, like he said, that God is used to factory work. See, I was telling them first about the country of Israel and stuff. And in the Bible says God said protect Israel, right?
Right.
But if you let these people say it and make it seem like God was just start existing in 1948 when the country of Israel was established. And so then you have the churches saying God said to protect Israel and all that. You saying he just said this in 1948 when the whole world is based off the life of Christ? If Jesus ain't real, why is the whole world based off BC, before Christ, DC, during Christ? We live in AC, after Christ.
Sure.
The whole world does it. From the Qin dynasty and all that. Documents where Paul even traveled.
Yep.
We live in lies. We live in. When do we teach our kids? And that's what Booker T. Washington said. A lie can never be the truth.
No, not. I don't care how you dissect it or divide it. It can't. No, it can't. Never be the truth.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell anybody, please, if you have a chance to read some of the excerpts from James Baldwin. I'm gonna put something up what he said from James Baldwin. This month, he was born 100 years ago. This month, James Baldwin said it best: "We can disagree and still love each other, unless Your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist.
Right. I'm with him on that.
Me too. And I didn't want other people to exist because I was telling them at one time I thought that only blacks was going to heaven because of all the oppression, and the Lord had to open up my eyes because that's a big lie.
That's a big lie.
That was
That's
a big lie.
That's a big lie.
That was, and that's what I'm saying. And I can repent for that.
And he so loved the world. Okay. He so loved the world. He didn't so love the black world. He didn't so love the white world. He so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son so that everybody, not black, not just the black, not just the white, not just the yellow, not just the red, everybody could have a chance, man. And so
Right.
yeah, that's a big lie. It's gonna be all kind of people up in heaven. There's gonna be people there that you thought wasn't gonna make it.
And and to me, when I realized that, I said, Lord, forgive me. That's when I said my road to Damascus. You feel me? Because he was hitting me all over the head. And I said, Lord, forgive me in my heart. For real. And this wasn't recently. This was like in 2007. I'm in the hotel room, and it just put me down to my knees.
Yeah.
How I'm no better than the ones who's oppressing me because I'm an oppressor on certain ones who I could oppress.
Right.
And I said, Lord, forgive me. I'm about humanity. And I'm hoping that everybody who can believe it'll be all races in there. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not, and so like I tell anybody, if there's anybody out there that I did something wrong and I don't even know, forgive me because I did not know back then.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do no damage like that, but I for real, because I believe, like Big Hank just said, and and I'm gonna live by the truth. I can't go by what I was just going over about the when they said you break a mirror 7 years. That was something that the slave masters created because mirrors was hard to find, and the slaves were cleaning the house and they break a mirror. Who can give you 7 years back? Look, the one who owns you. Big Hank is constantly in the church, and those who wants to know more about breaking down of the Bible, watch Big Hank on Wednesday afternoons, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. You catch it on Facebook. He's bringing the word with two of the other deacons, and they breaking it down to where it's so easy to understand. He's been a spiritual mentor to me because my faith in God has always been there like a mustard seed, but now my actions to show that I believe in you, God, is starting to speak out. One started with our finances. We build our whole life around monies in this world. Laura said, take the sparrows, told they not, right? Big Hank, every time I open up my door, about 20 or 30 sparrows shot out the tree. And they be having fun, man.
Yeah.
There's a red one in there with them in the mix and stuff. And that's when I found out, red cardinals it's just a sparrow. He just got a color situation. But if he takes care of them and takes care of the flowers, he's sure going to take care of us.
Yes, sir.
And I was just on this name calling and stuff like that. Now, me and Big Hank, we're stand-up comedians. And usually on our comedy, I look at Big Hank, we are the epitomes of our jokes.
Yeah.
Now, I may talk about somebody else or whatever, but we're the epitome of our jokes. And we do get off the stage and start talking about you and bash you. We're talking about the wrong a person did. Like we calling out what representatives. These guys like Byron, Tim Scott, Byron Donalds. I call them out. Everybody knows how I feel about Governor DeSantis. I don't like people who preach hatred and lies and stuff. I did, Big Hank. say that I was so glad that former President Donald Trump didn't get murdered.
Yeah.
You know, I prayed for when he got nipped in the ear. He could have turned his head just a little bit more, and he would have took half his face off or something. You know, I'm gonna stand talk with him across the table with have his orange hair and all that. I'd be like, man, you got your hair whipped. But we ain't trying to kill him though. We ain't trying to. I don't want to see him go like that.
Nah, we don't want to see nobody get got like that.
He said, he said, I'm a Republican. I don't like DeSantis.
What's up,
You know, I talked to some Republicans don't like what's going on with I was listening to Republicans last night saying that that's what made me want to do this subject, that they was tired of the name slinging. You know,
Yeah.
it's not helping us. I want to know how my kids is going to be when they get older. Benefits is doors open for them. I don't want to hear all this hatred stuff, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is. Division. Create division.
And because I tell you people, just because Kamala Harris is a woman, don't believe she's easy on crime, because she's not. I was a citizen of California. She was the prosecuting attorney of San Francisco and became the attorney general of the state of California. Then she was voted as secretary of the state of California. Now she made it to, matter of fact, she ran against President Joe Biden. And then she, you know, because she was deep in the paint. And so now, you know what it reminded me of when she's been telling Donald Trump to debate her. You know what it'd be thinking about? That movie Head of State with Chris Rock and Bernie Mac. He said, I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. He kept trying to get him to debate. They was popping up on his television channels, on his best movies, and him and Bernie Mac. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Hey man, I'm grateful. Me and Big Hank have been, you know, I tell anybody, try God. See for yourself. You don't have to listen to me. Listen, Big Hank, try for yourself. Me and Big Hank got together and said we're gonna pay our tithes on our comedy shows.
Yeah.
And some days we had a lot of people who got people got in and Compton. We only had $20. We did not split them. We did not split the $20 and say, well, I'm gonna get some burgers or something like that. We gave God his first.
Yes, sir. Now look, it was other times where we had way more than $20. You know what I mean? Way more. But even on when we came up short, we still tied. We didn't cut back on our tie. We didn't do that.
It sure didn't. And Big Hank, what happens? You said it yesterday, man. It's rung in my head. It's been ringing. If you're responsible over a little
bit, I'll give you some more. I'll give you much.
I give you much.
I'll make you responsible over much. Yes, sir.
Man. Hey, man, that just gives me joy. He said, explain to me, how can she get the Democratic nomination when she doesn't have one primary vote? Well, she basically do, but she was endorsed by the president, or being the vice president. If let's say, for instance, President Joe Biden would have passed, God forbid, she would have became the president without any primary vote. He endorsed her. And so the whole Democratic Party, because remember, I'm a free American. I'm not Republican or Democrat. And what gets me, man, you know what gets me when they send me texts? Donald Trump Jr., Don Jr., asking me for $5. Then I get a text from Chuck Schumacher. Man, what the word? When'd you get my number? I don't even know. Then you asking me for $5. I don't even know none of these cats. How they get my number? Big Hank asking me for $5. I sent back a reply. I said, shoot, I need $5. I didn't get no reply back.
I bet you did.
Have you got these texts before?
Huh? Yeah.
You get these texts?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. Man, I don't know, man.
Governor Newsom sent
Oh
me
no.
a text. Somehow he gonna
Yeah.
send me just like this, Big Hank. Hey, it's me, Calvin. He said, true, but that's the natural succession. Biden's still alive, which means she needs to go through the proper channels. She took everyone's Democratic vote from them. No, what happens is he endorsed her. That's why she's campaigning. The
Yeah.
Democrats is all behind her. You got Republicans behind her saying, hey,
Yeah.
Republicans for, and the thing is, man, I don't concentrate on it. I'm going to use my vote, but God told me to, it said in the word by King David, I was young and now I'm old, and I never seen the righteous forsaken or the seed begging for bread. Who's ever in office? You know, he said you can't inherit votes. Well, of course not. But there's so much in these politics we don't know. But I do know this: if you plant love, you get love. If you plant hate, you get hate.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. Just me said, look in history. This has never happened before. Yeah, it sure hasn't. Just like January the 6th when all them people rushed the Capitol. This
Yeah,
never
never
happened
happened.
before. I've never seen a president lose on the second term and come back to run for another term again. I think that's all new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
I never seen it.
I've never, and then to make the people say, hey, boy, let me tell you something. Fox News and all them people had to pay out some money. They paid out some millions because they found out this was lies, And see, and you know what? We're going to get on that. What is a lie and what is the truth? Because there's too many unfacts that has been. He brought up something, and you're absolutely right, just me. I don't know how all of a sudden it works. I didn't know how it works like that. All of a sudden hit the campaign trail. I don't know about none of that. Where's the other Democrats? Nobody could run against her. I ain't seen nobody trying to run against her. There are proper channels. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Oh yeah, man. I am gonna look it up. But man, I don't know how it works.
It's working now. It's working
Yeah.
now. Don't you? It's working now.
Hey, look here. I'm gonna share this before I give Big Hank let his finished words. When President Barack Obama was in, it seemed like there was certain constraints, whatever. I don't know. But when former President Donald Trump came in, I seen a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, presidents could
Yeah.
do that? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey man, he said, do your research and let me know on Tuesday. I'm definitely going to find out because I'm want to know. And let me tell you, everybody, please go to God first on anything, because when this world is over, it's your soul that's gonna mean none of the votes and none of that's gonna mean anything and stuff.
Nope.
I need that one vote from God saying, "Well done, faithful servant." Come up in here, bro. Big Hank, you got the words, bro.
Man, that it ain't. It's the same thing, man. Keep living life like God is watching, and you're doing it because He is. And be not deceived, for God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's good or bad. Yes, sir.
Then just me say, good show today, fellas. Have a good weekend. You do the same, man.
You
Man,
too.
love you much too, bro. Everybody who watches and who comments and stuff. It's not if you don't, you just listen, smile. Because I love you, but God loves you. Big Hank loves you, but God loves you more. We can do
Yes, sir.
nothing but sympathize with you and try to talk with you. But God, who woke you up this morning and stuff like that, and don't think you can be perfect to God. I ain't no perfect. I'm like a filthy rag, and He still sees through the dirt. You
Yes,
know.
sir.
And Big
It
Hank
ain't.
said,
It ain't one. It ain't one of those. It ain't a perfect one. There's no such thing. Only Jesus did that.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
man."
it ain't no perfect.
And then he said 4 a.m. That sober life. Tomorrow will be just me. He said this will be real quick. Big Hank, he said that tomorrow would be 5 days of sober. I want to bring that back. And I was like, man, I'm proud of that.
Keep it up.
Here, though. He
Keep
said,
up good work.
He said, good though. 5 days sober tomorrow, man.
Wow, that's good, man. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Man, good stuff.
One day at a time.
Y'all.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. I said the same thing, man. We go back one step at a time. And man, you're not by yourself, bro. We all have fallen short on ourselves, on God, our family, our friends. But guess what? You started right there, recognizing that there's a problem, fix it, and everybody loves and respects you for that, bro. Hey man, I'm out here, man.
And don't worry. Yes, sir. Don't worry about it, man. God got you, whether you on track or off track. And don't never forget, man, his grace and his mercy endures forever.
Don't it though, man? That encouraged me, man. For real. He ain't done with us yet, Big Hank. We could have been dead. We could have been, huh?
Yes, sir.
We could have been dead a long time ago. He gave us grace to die to make it great.
How many times you were shot, Roy? I've been shot 5 times.
I've been shot 2 different times, but I was shot with a sawed-off shotgun that penetrated my back with 6 bullets.
So how you think you got? How you think you still here?
Man, by the grace of God, I know. The ballistics matched 7 other murders. And you heard Big Hank been shot 5 times.
Yes, sir. On 5 different occasions. Ain't that so? Yes, sir.
Man. And he said Donald Trump was shot once. Laugh out loud. Hey, that's what he said, laugh out loud. Hey man, I'm just glad he didn't. He's just like us. We have a conversation to have. Look what God wants. He'll give you enough time, because a lot of cats, we lost them. But we right here.
There's a lot of cats that got shot one time and ain't here.
Ain't here.
You hear me? Yeah. Ain't here no more. Yeah, that part.
Man, I'm so grateful to God. I can't go backwards, Big Hank. I can never go backwards, bro.
Don't do it.
And he said he got 37 felonies, 34 felonies, man. We can't. We gonna talk about that too, though. Next week. Man, we out of here, man. Love you, bro. Peace out, y'all.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony and Friends show.
Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on?